So today I'm going to distill all of the knowledge I've gained from my self-improvement journey into 5 rules, or basically lessons that you want to follow on your self-improvement journey to maximize your growth. So I've been on self-improvement for about I started reading books and meditating and exercising and working out like when I was 14, but I didn't see it as self-improvement because I was just trying to become a better soccer player. But it was around like a year and a half ago that I really said like, all right, I am on self-improvement and I'm gonna do this like full time, right? I'm just gonna do as many good habits as possible, and I'm going to make as much progress in my self-improvement journey as possible. And along these 1.5 years, I've come up with 5 rules to follow in your self-improvement journey to guarantee that you'll become the best version of yourself possible. So number 1 is that identity is key. And what I mean by identity is key is that how you see yourself, like your self-image, essentially the version of yourself you see in your mind when you think about yourself, is the thing that will determine whether you make progress or not. Because somebody who sees themselves as a loser, somebody who sees themselves as like, I'm not confident, right? I'm antisocial, I'm not worthy of success, will never become anything in life because his identity is holding him back. He can make as much progress as he wants, but if his identity doesn't match with the progress that he's making or the vision that he has for himself, he will go nowhere in life. And identity really is powerful, because I noticed that like when you do hard shit, when you do hard work, and when you challenge yourself, you really start to craft this identity of someone who's disciplined, who's hardworking, who's on the grind. And your identity is just crafted by how much proof you have that you are the person you want to be. Like, does that make sense? Like, if you want to craft the identity of someone who's disciplined, then you have to build proof that you are disciplined in order for yourself to see yourself as somebody disciplined. Like, does that make sense? Right? I also noticed that when I see myself as someone who's hardworking, as someone who's disciplined, I don't want to play video games and I don't want to scroll, although that does happen like sometimes. But I'm kind of like disgusted by bad habits in a way when my identity and my self-image is at its best, because you're essentially like, what your actions are just a reflection of how you see yourself, a reflection of your identity. And if you hold it in your mind that you're a loser, that like you won't become anything in life, well, all of your actions will gravitate towards bad habits and toward instant gratification. And so that's what I mean by identity is key, because if having a bad self-image leads to bad habits, well, a good self-image, a positive self-image will lead to good actions and will lead to you being a more productive version of yourself because you see yourself in a good light. So the second lesson, or the second rule, is just show up. I've noticed that whenever I get in a rut, or whenever I feel like I'm not making as much progress as I want to be, or I'm not doing as many habits as I want to be, or like I want to build more consistency, I just show up, right? Like when you're in a rut, the best thing you can possibly do is just show up. Take small, teeny tiny steps, because the compound effect is real. All those teeny tiny steps will compound into you suddenly being out of a rut without you even realizing it, right? Like I was in a rut like a couple months back, and while I was like in this rut, I knew I wasn't doing as many bad habits, as good habits as I wanted to be. I was doing more bad habits. I was eating more junk food, but I held it in my mind that if I just show up every single day, if I just do good habits, even if it's 5 minutes of reading, if it's 1 breath of meditation, even if it's 1 push-up, I will hold on to this identity that I am on self-improvement, that I am disciplined, simply by showing up. Simply by showing up, you've proved to yourself that you are who you say you are, and that's enough to build consistency and to build like momentum for you to get out of this rut. So simply show up for yourself, because that is really the key to making as much progress as possible. So lesson number 3, or rule number 3, is that meditation is that the single most powerful habit out there is meditation. So I started meditating around 1.5 years ago, like I said, when I was really on self-improvement, and since then I think I have racked up 14,000 minutes, right? Because with the app I'm using like tracks your minutes, so that's like 210 something. I don't know, 200, I've racked up over 210 hours of meditation, and all those hours of meditation have led me to become such a more calm and confident person, because meditation just like destroys all negative thoughts, destroys all like bad thought patterns that you may have. It destroys overthinking and just leads you to becoming this more likable, kind, and confident person, because you're not constantly thinking, you're not overthinking about every single little thing in life. And honestly, recently I haven't been meditating as much, and I noticed that I'm having more negative thoughts than usual. Not like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit, blah blah blah, but like I can feel that I'm not as positive of a person when I don't meditate as much, right? And so meditation is so incredibly powerful. Like, I cannot tell you just how much it has changed my life, and simply by doing 10 minutes a day, you will see an incredible change. So you might be wondering, oh, how can I start to like meditate daily, right? Because I don't do shit and blah blah blah. Well, the key to mastering meditation is, like I said, simply showing up. You show up every day. You do one breath of meditation, which turns into 1 minute, 5 minutes, and then one day you'll be meditating for 2 hours every single day. Who knows? So the fourth lesson is that in order to achieve your goals, you have to be fucking obsessed. I've noticed that when I make the most progress to my goals, that's the only thing I'm thinking about. That's when all of my shower thoughts, all of my daily thoughts are just centered around my goal. So recently I remade a wall on my room with like just obsessing over a goal of hitting 10,000 subscribers by the end of the day. And I've put it on my wall, and I'm just obsessing it over. If I'm taking a piss and I'm like thinking about some random shit, I say to myself, 10k steps, 10k steps, 10k steps. When I'm going on a walk, or when I notice that my thoughts are drifting towards something that's not my goal, I recenter myself. And this might seem obsessive, right? But people who reach insane amounts of success are all obsessive. They all have like this addictive personality that makes them just like destroy their competition. So obsess over your goals as much as possible, and you will reach those goals, I guarantee you. So I said 5, but this one is kind of a bonus lesson, and it's that mindset is key, right? Like your identity, being obsessive, showing up every single day, like all of these rely on your mindset. And your mindset is just, if you don't believe you'll become successful, you won't become successful. If you do believe it, you will achieve it, right? That doesn't mean that you can just like say to yourself, oh, I'll become successful, I'll become a millionaire, blah blah blah, and you'll become a millionaire. It just means that the space between your ears is the most important space in history, and that determines just how much progress you will make. Like, trust me on this. Alright, I think that's it. I have a newsletter below if you want to join it. But yeah, and maybe like subscribe if you want to, because I don't know, growth has been a bit slow lately, because I've been like adjusting the style of videos, and I haven't asked you to subscribe in a while. But anyways, take care, bro. I hope this helped you, and I cannot wait to see the progress that you make. Take care, bro.